Okay, hi and welcome back. So here's the hull now. I've just gone round and basically added some bolts around there. I've moved the anchor into the boat there, and I've moved the rudder item into the hull as well. That's a blank mesh, so we'll need that in a minute. I've left the anchor and the rudder in these layers, just turned them off, just in case we need to basically delete them from here, and if we're going to animate and things, just so we've got them still saved. I've added these like funny little, they were just cylinders which I just split into three sections and just sort of scaled those down slightly and just rotated them around 30 degrees. And I've just made a few little, that's just a nut as you can see on the end there, just beveled that way and beveled out. That's about all I've done really. I've added a couple more boxes, but it's getting to the stage now where I think where if I add too much more, then that's going to start to get a bit messy. But we'll see when we start texturing it. We can always add some extra details. So the last thing to do now is the sails. So the sails are pretty straight front and back. There's no sort of curvature that way. I'll try and do a bit of billowing out the way, as you'll see in a minute. But I'm not really too worried about using the reference images for that because they are pretty straight on, so to speak. So I've got a new layer for now which we're going to use just to stick these in. So we'll do the bottom piece first. Now I've been thinking the best way to do these, so I'm thinking we're going to turn the snapping on anyway. Now we're going to snap to geometry, and these are all just straight lines there with just some points there. So what we'll do is we've got geometry on, we're going to snap to the vertexes, which is good, and we're only going to use the active layer we're currently actually no, we're going to do it to the background because that's a wireframe, so it's in the background. And I'm just going to turn the 2D snap on. Hopefully they'll try and keep everything in the same plane. And I'm just going to go over to this Polygon Tool here, and let's just stick a quad or an n-gon, sorry, in there. Okay, we'll hit spacebar to drop the tool, and then we'll have just a quick look. So it's all in one plane, so that's good so far. Okay. Now to billow this out a bit, we obviously need a bit more geometry in there. Now if you try and do an edge loop or edge slice in here, or loop slice, that's going to come from me. That's all going to go a bit pear-shaped, to be honest. So I'm going to help it along just by, we'll turn the snapping on. I'm not going to have anything on, but I've still got the angle snap in. I'm just going to put an edge through the middle there just to get this into two, and then also as we've got a point here somewhere, I'm going to hit the C key, and I'm just going to go from there through there to that point there, just to, and this is basically just to give it something to work on when we subdivide this, so it sort of knows what it's doing, bless it. So I'm going to hit Shift and D, and I'm going to leave it on faceted and just hit the OK there, and just add a bit more. We're going to Shift and D again. Okay, that's more than enough. So even after all these details, we're only up to sort of 3,700 poly. So you know, we're still pretty low poly. Now we've got this in, we're going to try and use, if we're going to deform here, we've got one. Let's just try soften. Let's click in the middle there. Okay, this should do it. Right, so we're going to try and billow this out now. So we're going to use these little handles just to try and firstly get this sort of elliptical. This is the sort of influence of the drag, so to speak. So I'm gonna pump that way a bit. Now this is going to be a bit trial and error, I'm afraid. Now if we drag this out, you'll see it sort of it comes with it, and it's like a fall off. So, and then you can also open up the sort of radius there So I don't want much. I don't want much at all. I'm just gonna. And you can drag any way you like here. Now I'm trying to make it a bit more at the front. Let's see if I take this down. I just want it to look like the wind's just pushing it from this side. Let's have a look at that. I've got a wee sharp, a bit of a sharp point there. I'm just going to just cut that back. Right. Now if I grab this, let's go over to a top view and see if we can just get that in the middle of the, or just off the centre actually, because I'm going to have to thicken this, because the problem we're going to have with this is that when you're looking at the boat from this side, you're obviously not going to see the sails. So okay, I think that's probably enough of a bend, because don't forget the sheeting would be quite tight between these ribs there, so I don't think that would be, and there's nothing at the front here holding this edge sort of flat, so that might need to be a wee bit bigger, but I think that's alright. Now I'm just going to grab that and polygon thicken. Just so there's some both sides. Okay, so that's that sail done. So what I'll do now, because I think overall these parts of this boat mesh are taking quite a bit of time up, so I'll just quickly do the same thing now for the others, just selecting this pen tool and just putting a sort of a polygon in each, and then just doing the facet and then just bending it out, and then when I come back then we'll see what stage you're at. So I'll just finish the sails off quickly using the same technique as I did, exactly the same as I did for that one there.